Hi, this is Tessa Dextrous, and I'm going to be going through my AAC project. To start, I'm going to go ahead with the basic AAC communication device I made. So right here I have a red folder, and it says I1, and then we have a blank icon. So because we're just learning, I'm going to only use a couple icons, and I have this little slit in here, that way in case the student is getting overwhelmed, I can just take them off and put them in here. Probably flip them over. Excuse me. There we go. So the icons that I chose were fruit snacks, goldfish, that way the student can ask for something to eat and they have differentiating choices, water fountain in case they wanted to leave the room and get a drink, bathroom in case they'd like to use the restroom, blocks, and break. I wanted to always keep break on there because that way the student can know they can take a break if they're getting too overwhelmed with the task. To use this, I would just have the student take off an icon, so we're just going to use blocks. Put it on here, and it says I want blocks. This would be followed with immediate gifting of the blocks to indicate that that makes a correlation together. To start, I would probably do hand over hand to get the student to know how to work the system better. So that's just my simple one. My low-tech communication system is a little bit more complicated. So this has a bunch of different pages. To start, I did add a sentence strip to this one. On this one, I did not because we're just kind of learning how to use it and I didn't want to overcomplicate it. So to start, I have a slit right here with extra icons because I didn't want to add too many to the pages. Now I follow the color coding system to the best of my abilities. So this first one, we're going to have people and pronouns. So over here, I have stuff that would apply to school and home. So I, Miss Tess, with a picture of me, dad, custodian, mom, best friend, secretary, me, us, principal, nurse, coach, and you. This is followed by nouns, which would be orange, stickers, Legos, puzzles, ball, games, jump rope, notebook, paint, stamp, iPad, folder, crayon. And I did add this on the back for some more nouns because school has a lot of different stuff, and this is more for kind of more advanced student again. So because this has the little slit, we can put these extra icons in here if the student is getting too overwhelmed. So this is going to be more for lunches or snack time for them to be able to differentiate what they would like to eat. Over here I'm going to have our verbs. So am, want, help, take turns, ready, more, all done, my turn, your turn, read, drink, and color. Over here I'm going to have descriptions on blue. So because oftentimes in the classroom we're going to ask for colors of crayons or paper, or what color is this picture, I wanted to make sure we had a wide variety. Then I also wanted to add a description such as hungry and thirsty. I also added emotions here on the back. The hungry and thirsty can go back here as well, so the student can elaborate more on how they're feeling. So this is my miscellaneous section with more like places and things that would go on the visual schedule. So I have music, art, science, kind of to go with the schedule. Activities such as soccer, independent work to mark on the calendar, breakfast, lunchtime, and then another empty slit. So to use this one, again, I have the sentence strip right here. So I'd go find I. I'm going to go to my verbs, find my green page, want. And then we can just kind of find what the student would want. We'll just do nouns. I want puzzle. Then this sentence strip is removable. So we can go and we would hand it to the teacher. And that way they would be able to express what they kind of want. It is a little bit more complicated, but it follows the color coding system and it gives an opportunity to promote communication. To start next, I'm going to go with my literature-based lesson. I have it pulled up on my computer as well. Just bear with me here for 1 second. Here we go. So this is submitted, but I want to go ahead and just kind of have it on standby. The book I chose were 10 Pigs, an Epic Bath Adventure. So the purpose of this is kind of just to work on counting and sequencing. The gist of the story is one by one, the piggies come in the bath. And then obviously it gets a little bit too crowded in there. So it's kind of about sequencing and whatnot. To make it more AAC friendly, I went ahead and had icons that pair with each page. So for example, this is one pig. It says one pig. One very happy pig. So we went and found icons that would match with our AAC device. I used Boardmaker. So one pig, one very happy pig. I'm just going to zoom out here. And this just follows the story. Sorry, my pages got stuck there. And you can always use this too as like a little block in case this is too overstimulating to match with the book. But it just goes through counting. 2, this bathtub is too small for a duck, 2 pigs and a ball. It just kind of goes through the story and matches word for word or icon for icon. So in order to make this more of a literature-based lesson, I made sure we had the icons that we would need are going to be pig, dog, plane, bathtub, the numbers 1 through 10. Basically any words that are going to be prevalent in the story or reoccurring. Of course, we're going to have the pigs here, and we're going to cut these out and use as manipulatives. And then I decided to do a field of 2 questions to review to match with their AAC system. So what they could do is match the numbers with their device. So how many pigs are there? They can count, respond with their AAC device, point whichever is better for their needs. The story is about which animal. The pigs were in a plane or bathtub. At the end of the story, one of the pigs dresses up as a wolf, so this just reviews what they dress up as. How many pigs were there in the story? And then I have down here a little activity for them to engage in art. And it says it's piggy time. Oh no, another pig wants to hog the bath. What does this pig look like, and what does she bring along? You decide. So a student would be able to color the pig, add whatnot, and then sign their name, kind of that's just like a reviewing activity. Bear with me here. Okay. So that is my literature-based lesson. I'm gonna apologize. This is kind of hard to do. So my next thing that we have is gonna be my instructional-based lesson, and I decided to do a science lesson more based on the seasons and the characteristics associated with them. So vocabulary-wise, we would go over fall, winter, summer, spring, as well as like hot, cold, snow, rain, cloudy, various characteristics that would describe these settings. Okay. So our targeted vocabulary, winter, spring, fall, and autumn, because a lot of the AAC devices will use the word autumn instead of fall, so I wanted to kind of teach these as correlated together, so the student wasn't confused by this. So again, AAC icons that we would use: seasons, autumn, summer, hot, cumulus clouds, winter, spring. I have this activity right here for science for the students to hold up as well, that kind of depict each season. So if I said, which season is cold? They could indicate by holding up the winter sign. I also have a video on YouTube that is attached so that we can they can click, and it just kind of goes through the seasons and the characteristics. Then I have another art little activity down here where they would color the trees kind of based on the season. So for spring it'd be more green, winter there wouldn't be any leaves, just mostly snow. Fall would be leaves falling down, orange, red, just kind of to get a little activity for more hands-on work. Down here I have a matching activity. So what would happen would you cut out each of these squares, and the students would match the season and characteristic to each other. So kind of we're all over just to make sure everyone's needs are met. Down here I have another activity that's a little bit more complicated. So what is the season? And you would cut out these, and the student would glue them to the designated season. And again, these would match the icons that were posted above that I just showed. Okay, so also because this is AAC, I did create an additional page. This could go in the low-tech communication system I showed in here. So we just slide it in there to embed it into the instructions. So this just kind of goes through and shows the various terminology that we would be using. And then on the back, I wanted to also focus on what do we wear during this time. So we can always dress up a little like character or something, or say, it's snowing outside, should we wear flip-flops or snow boots? And then they could place it on their sentence strip, or hand it, or point, whatever works for their system or student for their unique needs. So, or characteristics of what you could do during this the season. So rake, build a snowman, go to the pool, and whatnot. So, alright, so that concludes my AAC project. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot. Thank you.